Chairman, as we heard last week at the radical sanctuary cities, are violating federal immigration law by directing local law enforcement to ignore President Trump's immigration policies. Law enforcement officers should not be the ones wearing the bureaucratic handcuffs, Mr. Chairman. It should be the illegal aliens. Cartels and transnational and criminal organizations and foreign terrorist organizations are committing crimes and fueling the fentanyl crisis in the United States. The Wilson Center reports that trafficking of fentanyl in Arizona and California is a direct result of the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel. A January 2020 DEA reports also credits these cartels at the same time supplying of illicit fentanyl within the U.S. How did Biden respond? In August of 2023, he sent 140 additional Homeland Security investigative agents to the southwest border, but only to assist with administrative tasks like hospital watch and transportation. We need these folks to enforce immigration laws, not facilitate illegal immigration. But within just 1 month, the Trump administration has seen the lowest border encounters in history. That means Biden simply wasn't protecting Americans by enforcing the law. Law enforcement jurisdictional issues don't help either. Almost 30% of Arizona is comprised of tribal lands and is an additional optional practical law 280 state law, or it exercises partial state criminal jurisdiction over tribal lands. There's a significant lack of partnership among the federal, state, and local entities. Mr. Holmeyer, are you familiar with SB 1070?
No, I'm not.
It was an Arizona law. It was very controversial, so it might be before your time. Sheriff, are you familiar with SB 1070?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Doyle?
No, sir, not in detail.
Okay. Well, Arizona wanted to enforce its own border, and it went up to the courts, and they said supremacy clause. Okay. So that's why I turned on the good old mayors. They say offer sanctuary city, so that's against the law to do that. That's standing law. So let me ask you a question, Ms. Doyle. And now that you're teaching, you're teaching, right? You're still teaching?
Not any longer, no.
Okay, well.
But I did.
Okay, but how did you present that to your students? Did you say what you believe now and is going on is in Boston is okay, or did you say it was my opinion? How did you teach that? Because how you interact there really puts an institution in jeopardy, does it not?
Boston follows all the state, local, and federal laws. They are not in violation of federal law. In fact, Philadelphia and California's policies have been upheld by federal courts as well.
Supreme Court?
Not to my knowledge, has not gone to the Supreme Court.
Well, that's why SB 1070 went to the Supreme Court. It went all the way up to court, so it's the law of the land. So you're violating the law, and you're putting your students that you're teaching at risk. So I find it very offensive that we see that. Mr. Humeyer, we're unique in Arizona we have over 20 tribal jurisdictions. Because tribal law enforcement doesn't always have the resources necessary to conduct immigration reform enforcement, criminal cartels target tribal lands, leading into an increased crime and drug trafficking in Indian country. Are you familiar with the Arizona tribe called the Tohono O'odham tribe?
No, I'm not.
It spans 62 miles of the southern border. They refuse to have the border wall put on their territory. And yet this is one of the major areas, and my colleague from Arizona will also attest to this, that they bring in human trafficking and a lot of the illicit drugs. Sheriff, are you familiar with the Tohono O'odham?
No, I'm not.
Is your jurisdiction on tribal lands different?
No, we don't have tribal lands where we are.
We got over 20 tribes, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But your 287G, you've got so many people coming across here, you got to use these programs, right?
Correct.
It's your utilizing all the manpower aspects, right?
Right. We in the jail and now soon on the street. We'll be fully cooperative with ICE in helping them do their job.
There's a difference between, Ms. Holmeyer, there's a difference between illegal immigration and legal immigration, right?
Correct.
And I'm in favor of legal immigration, not illegal immigration.
Correct, Congressman.
We've got other people doing the right thing, standing in line, right, trying to get in this country. I'd much rather said if we need 5 million workers, go, this is your magic day. Because it is a violation, at least a misdemeanor, to try to violate this country's laws.
Correct, Congressman. If I may, there's
Sure, go
a
ahead.
perverse incentive with illegal immigration in that it incentivizes more illegal immigration. So what you're doing is you're actually taking incentives for migrants to choose a path of illegality that's dangerous, that's treacherous, instead of choosing a legal path. You can make an argument to reform legal migration, but first you have to stamp out illegal immigration.
I'll have a bunch of follow-up questions for the record. Thank you.
The gentleman yields. The chair recognizes Congressman